Hey, thanks for tuning in this episode of Channel Surfing. We're down here at the Saddle Boat Show, and I've been playing with Argo for about the last year or so, and I actually did an evaluation, the little try before you buy thing, and then subscribe for a year, and walked into the founder of Argo at his booth. So I thought I'd let him go over how Argo actually works and the benefits and stuff of it.
Hear the voice within calling.
I'm Captain Jeff. Thanks for stopping by. Argo has been out for 5 years now. It's a very easy app to use. That's how it was designed, to be very intuitive. But it has very powerful features. Particularly its auto routing. It'll auto route faster than any app that you can find out there. And you can also easily connect, find other boaters when you're on the water, and share routes and experiences. But I can give you a quick demo of its auto routing feature, probably its top feature. We just tap auto route. We happen to have it already locked in, starting point here in Seattle, which is a nice feature. If your boat is somewhere else other than your home, you don't want to be routing from your couch. At this point, all I have to do is tap the destination. I'm gonna.
And how far north we want to go today?
Yeah, we'll do.
I can do about 200 miles in a day on my boat.
Let's go to Vancouver. About 3 seconds, it'll create a route for you based on your vessel. You put your vessel specifications in, gives you a route, time and distance to get there, fuel usage, ETA if you're ready to start. Let's say that's not quite the path you want to take. It's very easy to add an interim point just by tapping. It'll reroute it based on that interim point, and you can grab that, drag it around, kind of place it where you want to place it. Another nice feature, which is kind of unique to Argo, if you wanted that interim point to be an actual anchorage or marina along the way, you can tap on that interim point, get a view of the anchorages in the area. Not only a list view, but a map view. You can move it around, search it again, kind of pick the anchorage that you want. Once you've tapped on it, it's going to reroute, but that interim point is going to be that anchorage. So it's very flexible in terms of tailoring the route, not only tapping the map and setting interim points, but actually selecting POIs along the way. And it could be a fuel dock, could be a marina, could be a restaurant, or an anchorage, whatever you want it to be. So that's the auto routing.
This is really powerful, because this is how I plan all my courses, right? Is when I'm on the water, it's different than when I'm at home on the couch. So on home on the couch, I'm looking, planning my trip. It's a week out, 2 weeks out. So here's the course of my day, right? I'm moored at Dagmar, so it's dry dock, so I have a boat ramp that the forklifts use to launch me. So I got to worry about the tide there, because I need 1.5 foot or higher to have the boat launched. Then I've got to get down a 3 mile no wake zone. And then there's a green buoy at the end of Everett. And from that point, I know it's 90 minutes for me to get to Deception Pass. And I don't like going to Deception Pass unless it's 4 knots or slower. So I call that my gate. So usually I got to sit down and I look at the day I want to leave. I look at when the gates open at Deception. Where's my 4 knots or less window? And then I back out 90 minutes from there and work all the way back up to when I actually have to launch the boat. So I got to be at that green buoy with 90 minutes to spare to get up there. And what I'm actually looking for is I'm looking for time to get someplace. So in Argo, I put in all the specs for how fast my boat moves, the gallons per hour that it's going to get, and I want to know what my fuel consumption is going to be. How much is it going to cost me in gas to get there? That also helps me space the fuel docks and stuff apart. So it's real quick to find out. It's going to cost me 48 miles. I'm going to spend 30 gallons of gas or whatever, and that way I can plan my trip and stuff for the upcoming weekend.
And you mentioned tides. Very easy to get the tidal information, weather, wind, just by moving the chart around, tapping this little weather widget up top, and you'll get a 24-hour window of all the wind direction, wind speed, not only the wave height, but also the wave period, and any tidal fluctuations. Also a 7-day forecast. And like I said, it's very easy. I'll head back to Seattle, tap that Weather widget again, I've got the same information in Seattle. There you go.
This is great. And then there's a social media aspect to the app, which I like as well, where you join like affiliate groups. I create a little channel surfing private group. You can join that. And it's supposedly how that like adds where you can see other folks on the water, like their friends.
You can.
And
It's a
stuff.
little bit like Waze. I mean, unfortunately, I don't think we have a lot of boaters out there right now here in Seattle, but you can see other folks that are using Argo and they're on the water. You can, of course, go into settings and set it so you're not seen. But if you've got friends on the app, you can see them when you're on the water, connect up at a raft up. You can also join a group. If you've got a yacht club or a boat club, you can set that up and your members can join, and then you can more easily see each other. Not only see each other, but you can share routes and trips and experiences, an upcoming event, things like that. So there's a whole social or community aspect to the app.
And that's a lot of fun. I mean, we know a lot of folks in the water, a lot of friends and stuff we hook up with. And right now we all use AIS to find each other, but not everybody has AIS. Mm-hmm. And this is a good alternative for my friends and stuff that don't have AIS to still be able to see where they're at, and then they can obviously see where we're at as well and meet up with them on the dock.
One thing I can show you back to the routing, if you happen to take a longer route, let's say we head up as if we're heading toward Juneau or Ketchikan. It's going to create, again, a very quick route within seconds. Took an inside path there. We have an option which is fairly unique to Argo. You can choose shortest, inside, or outside. We'll quickly reroute it using an outside path. So that's very easy, particularly on the East Coast where you've got the ICW, whether you want to go in the ICW or in the ocean, but it can be used out here as well.
Not many people would take that route.
Probably not. But if you've got a sailboat, you may not be...
It's on our bucket list to circumnavigate Vancouver, but that whole offshore side is
a little rough.
A little challenging.
Yeah.
The inside would be better for us.
So it does obviously allow you to do manual routing, but the auto routing gives you a very quick route to give you an indication of how long it's going to take you to get someplace. But if you're one that likes to do a manual route, that's available as well. It'll record your track, and it's got a captain's log. So any routes, trips, tracks that you've recorded can be saved to your captain's log. You can do the same thing on a laptop with our web app, and they all sync, so you can plan routes on a laptop, save it, and it'll show up on your tablet or your phone.
And also does favorites too. I've been going through setting, Kingston, Port Ludlow, places that we, Roach Harbor, places that we go all the time, and that way it makes it really easy to do my trip planning on the couch.
It's really a very good app for trip planning, and we've been improving the on-water experience, the offline experience, so you can use it as a trusted backup to your Chartplotter, or a lot of our users mount a tablet like this at the helm, and it's a backup Chartplotter.
Yeah, and I know I talk to a lot of boaters, and they always ask me, can you download your routes at home and get them to the Chartplotter? With the Garmin stuff we have on our Ranger tug, I could use Active Captain or potentially Navionics. I don't ever do any of that, and the reason being is when I'm on the water, it's different than when I'm at home on the couch. Because at home on the couch, I'm more than 3 days out. I don't know what the weather's going to be, so I know for example, I know I want to get from Everett to Roach Harbor. I can go through Admiralty Inlet, I can go through Deception Pass, I can go through the Sonoma Channel. Usually I'm going to prefer Deception Pass. Once I get through Deception Pass, then I can go down through the Straits of Juan de Fuca if the weather's really nice, or I can go through Lopez Pass across Rosario, shortest path across if it's if the weather's not as good, or I just want to get back into protected water, or I can go through Thatcher. Those decisions I make on the water. But I need to, but planning this in advance, I already know the timing, when I'm going to arrive, and none of these alternate paths really increase or decrease the time very much. So me personally, I'm not interested in transferring anything from here onto my Chartplotter. My Chartplotter, I'll go through and I'll set the course, and I usually don't even do end-to-end on a Chartplotter. I'm doing legs of the trip. Like I'll do from Everett to Deception. Once I get to Deception, I see the weather, then I decide, okay, which way am I to go? And then I do another course on the Chartplotter to get to where, whether I'm going through the Straits, Juan de Fuca, or Lopez Pass or whatnot.
So it is a free app. There's a lot of free features. All the charts are free in US, Canada right now. You can record tracks, you can do manual routing, the captain's log. But we also have a premium version, like many apps. It's $40 a year or $7 a month, 2-week trial. That gives you the auto routing, the wind, weather, tides, currents, some of the features that if you're really out there navigating, you would want.
Cool. Thank you, Jeff.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, good meeting you. Well, thanks for watching. If you have any comments or questions, leave them in the comment section below. And be sure to check Argo out. You can search for group channel surfing, join that, and then we can follow each other along as we're out there on the waterway. And if you ever find us on the dock or whatever, stop by and say hi.
If you enjoyed this video, click the link to watch another. And don't forget to like and subscribe, as it really helps us out. Thanks for watching.